Hello, sir. Hi, Samaj, sir. Hope you're doing good. And I'm really inspired about the work you're doing. Really, you're doing amazing. And we have seen a lot of your workshop classes and seminars, web series, all these things. Really, the way you have conducted the communication skills, it has inspired many of my friends as well. I'm really fortunate to came across your videos on YouTube. My question is like, my name is Mohan. By the way, I'm working for one of the company name called Society Generally. My question is like, see nowadays like people are working in very fast-paced, very fast-paced work environment, very aggressive, and as like a youth, like probably like 5 years, 6 years, or 10 years tenured guys in the corporate industry, MNCs, we do not know where to upskill ourselves because industry is open, but however, but when we have actually wanted to apply for a job in the market, so there will be no demand for our skills, and we are not sure which skills we need to upskill ourselves in the corporate industry. Could you please guide us as a non-IT guy? What are the areas we can develop? What are the skills we can improve ourselves? And for IT guys also, what kind of skills we can improve to grow in our career, sir? And this is one question. And another question is like, so for the next 10 years, how will be the economy, and what will be the job aspirants, how will be the career for them? And many youth, like many students in our country, they are passing out they're passing out, they're coming out from their graduation, and they're still searching for jobs like years together, still unable to find a right opportunity in the market. So what kind of advice you would give us, like to develop ourselves? Where can we upskill ourselves? What are the skills we can improve apart from our academic skills? Thank you so much, sir, for giving us this opportunity to share our video, our questions with you. It's really nice to see you. Thank you. Have a nice time. Thank you.
Thanks to you, Mohan Babu, for asking four questions in the allotted time, but all very relevant questions. First of all, I'd like to wish our viewers a happy National Mathematics Day, which is dedicated on the birth anniversary of the great Indian mathematician who was a self-taught mathematician, Srinivasa Ramanujan. A movie was also made on his life, which was called The Man Who Knew Infinity. So I wish you all a very happy National Mathematics Day. And now we move on to answering Mohan Babu's question, which is about a couple of questions that I picked up from his video. Was number one, what are the changes that are going to happen in the economy 10 years from now? If I knew that, I'd be in the stock exchange, my friends. Right? What skills would be in demand? But most importantly, you also asked how to upskill oneself while you're working, and also how can college students upskill themselves so that when they go into the job market, they're better prepared. In a nutshell, I can tell you this, that we are going to be we are already part of a high growth environment. India is definitely a high growth environment. So there is not going to be any shortage of opportunities. What we will need is to make sure that we prepare ourselves. A famous Greek thinker once said, good luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Okay? Good luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunities. Now, you and I, as much as we try, cannot be sure about what opportunities will exist. Okay, we don't know even about tomorrow, and you're asking me about the next 10 years. We can't be sure about that. What we can be sure about, and what I am confident about, is if you're prepared, if you're dynamic, if you're willing to change, if you're willing to be tough on yourself, you will be able to survive and change and thrive in any economy, whether it's a pre-COVID, post-COVID, whatever change is happening. But I will also strongly suggest that we created a dedicated 3-part video series, which is called Thriving Career Development in a VUCA World. VUCA is volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. That is the world we live in. Do watch that series, and I've shared a lot of my personal life instances in that one, and I'm sure it will be helpful, regardless of whether you're from an IT background or a non-IT background. We also created a video in our Coach on Campus series, which talked about the top skills required in the year 2020. And time has flown by. I think we recorded these videos about 3 years ago, and we were thinking, oh, 2020 is like, in the future, there's going to be flying cars and so many other things happening. But time has just flown by, and 2020 is coming to an end. We are going to be ushering into a new year, hopefully the year of the vaccine. The year of 2020 was the year of the mask. Hopefully 2021 will be year of the vaccine, of the syringe, and we will all get rid of this huge problem which has stopped human progress. But human progress never stops, huh? Okay, so I'm going to share with you, first of all, let's just quickly review, take another look at the skills that World Economic Forum said are going to be in demand in the year 2020. Right on the screen, you can see complex problem solving. I've shared with you a number of times, problem solvers will always be in demand. Regardless of whether you're a photographer, web designer, whatever that you're doing, if you can solve problems, you will always be in demand. Guess what? People say, okay, I can pay money, but I have my problem solved. But if I'm paying money also, and then I also have to spend my time, and then still my problem is not solved, that's not good. And that's an opportunity for youngsters to say, I want to be a problem solver. I want to be an engineer. I want to be a website programmer. I want to be a digital marketer. I want to be a stock investor. I want to be an entrepreneur. But more than that, I'm a problem solver. People often ask me, how did you become a motivational speaker? And I tell them, fine, you like to call me by that name. That is great. But deep down, what I do is I solve problems. I'm a problem solver first. And look at 2020 top skills. Number one, complex problem solving. Get better at it. You don't need an extra degree to get better at it. I created a whole video in which I shared 5 steps on how to become a better problem solver. Go watch it. And you will find simple things like sticking with the problem, going to the root cause, and so many other things. You become a better problem solver, you will rise up the hierarchy. You will get promotions quickly. New doors will open for you. So this is what you need to think about. Critical thinking, creativity, people management, other things on the list. How many engineers are taught people management? How many of us are taught in my first job, how should I behave with my boss, or how should I behave with my co-workers? What are the things I should avoid, etc., etc. So there's a huge shortage gap between what college teaches and what industry expects. So if you can cover that gap, you will have multiple doors opening for you. Look at service orientation, negotiation skills, cognitive flexibility, so on and so forth. Let's also, these lists are nothing new. They're available on the internet. So I'm just pulling them off the internet to share them with you from the World Economic Forum. Look at 2022. Pretty much similar. You still have leadership and social influence. You still have emotional intelligence. You still have creativity, originality and initiative, and all those sort of things. And we call them soft skills. We call them soft skills as if they're like an add-on thing. Let's learn the hard skills first. Let's learn accounting first. Let's learn this first, that first, and then we'll talk about the soft skills. This is the problem with most universities and institutions. They say, okay, we'll get in somebody to deliver a motivational talk or some soft skills lecture for personality development in 45 minutes. It doesn't happen, right? It's just an eyewash, but you got to take charge. Please remember. If you want to accelerate your career, you have to take charge of your growth. Just like you take charge of your health, of the food that you eat, of how you spend your time. The same way you got to take charge of your personal development, right? Where are you investing your time? Who are the people that you're hanging out with, right? Are you reading the latest books or not? Are you in touch with the current trends or not? Are you doing self-analysis or not? Okay, so I'll just tell you this about the economy in the next 10 years. A lot of automation is going to happen. A lot of automation is going to happen. The dull, the dirty, and the dangerous jobs are going to go to machines. Human beings must get better at what we do, and that is originality, initiative, creativity, communication, so many things. Those are human things. Machines cannot do it for us. And people who are able to unleash this human power, these human gifts, are the ones who will flourish regardless of whatever profession they're in. So I will share with you certain steps of first to figure out where to upskill. Number one, do a gap analysis. Where to upskill? Do a gap analysis. Gap analysis, where are my skills today? Where would I like to go? And what's missing? If you don't know what you want to change, nobody can change it for you. Even you can't change it because you're not aware. Awareness, my friend, Mohan, is the first step to change. So create more awareness. Sit down with yourself and do a gap analysis. What am I good at? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What do I need to overcome? And what are the resources I need to overcome? What videos I need to watch? What courses I need to attend? Who is the mentor who I should go to? मुझे किसके जाके घुटने दबाने mentor बनाना है? हम उस we are from a country where the guru shishya parampara is there, wherein so mentorship in the West calls it mentorship, but suddenly becomes very exciting. We've had it for thousands of years, right? Go to somebody and say, "Sir, ma'am, please, I want to learn from you. Can you teach me?" And you will be surprised at how many people will say yes, right? So where to upskill? First, do a gap analysis. Second, what are the latest trends in your industry? What's happening that is new at the moment but might become mainstream? Please remember, what's new today could be mainstream tomorrow. So if you're stuck in the old way of doing things, you'll be left out, right? So learn to figure out what are the new trends which are emerging in your field and how you can learn them, how you can know more about them. Number 3, what are your strengths? What are you good at? Naturally good at? Somebody could be a naturally gifted photographer, somebody could be a naturally gifted communicator, a good designer, a good singer, a good dancer. What are you naturally good at? And are you using those strengths or not? Okay, so I'll sum up this video, Mohan, with 5 very simple points, specific steps which can help anybody improve the chances of their success. Number 1, internships. Number 1, internships. As much as possible, you're a bachelor student, you're a postgraduate student, go and look for opportunities, not to get a fancy certificate, but to learn how the real world works. Because the world in the college and university is very different from the outside world. And you don't want to be sitting in surprise for the next 6 months after you graduate. I had no idea this is how it works, right? So go out as much as possible and explore. Internship, find a master, in the sense that Robert Greene talks about this in his book called Mastery. Find somebody that you can apprentice under, right? That even being in the presence of that person will teach you so many things. I've learned it. A lot of things that I've learned in my life have not been taught directly to me, but I've just picked up just by being in the presence of wonderful human beings that I've had the opportunity of spending time in my life across the world, in different parts of the world. Number 2, pick up freelancing assignments. In whatever field that you happen to be in, you'll build more confidence in your creativity. You will be able to strengthen that muscle of whatever you're trying to create. You will get to know more, right? Get some paid work as a freelancer if you're a student today. Number 3, attend conferences. Virtual conferences are happening all across us in the COVID-19 world. Many of them happen to be free, or there's a small fee to attend, and you have the opportunity to listen to some of the most fantastic experts in their fields. Go learn from them, listen from them, absorb that information. Number 4, improve your problem solving skills. If you want to accelerate your growth and upgrade your skills at the job, whatever that you're doing today, the most dangerous words you can ever say is not my job. Okay? People who say these 3 dangerous words do not make much progress in their careers, who say, sorry, this is not my job. They would be restricted in a very narrow zone, and very soon that narrow zone could disappear altogether. So volunteer, raise your hand, take initiative, take on new challenges, become a problem solver, okay? Which will really help you first develop yourself more than anything. You're not looking at appreciation for somebody else or from someone else. You're not looking at some external recognition. The first gift when you become a problem solver is that you improve your self-confidence. You know, now I'm a better person than I was before. And that's what we love. Otherwise, you fall into depression and negativity. You might be getting paid a lot of money, but if you're not experiencing progress personally or professionally, you won't be happy. You won't be fulfilled. And number 5, discover your strengths. Things that you're naturally good at, and try to use them as much as possible into whatever that you're doing today. Figure out a way to use your strengths in your current job description. So, voila, that was a long answer, about 15 minutes, but you asked a long question, so I hope it served you well. Go to World Economic Forum if you want to take a look at the lists that I shared with you earlier, the list for 2020 and the list for 2025. They're freely available, and they will give you some idea about the things that recruiters are looking for. But in general, all I will say is this: as more automation comes in, the things which human beings do the best will be the ones that will be in demand. One major leading airline once got a Twitter bot. You know how bots work? They are pre-programmed to reply to certain social media comments. So this airline got a Twitter bot to respond to customer tweets. And whenever the word thank you would appear, it was programmed to say, "You're welcome." So for this particular airline, the person was flying from Dubai to Bangalore. But when he landed in Bangalore, he discovered his bags were not in Bangalore. His bags had been delivered in Chennai. So he went on to the internet handle of this particular airline and he tweeted, "Thank you, Dash Airways, for sending me to Bangalore and my bags to Chennai." And the bot automatically replied, "You're welcome, sir. Thank you for flying with us. We hope to see you again." So no matter how much progress artificial intelligence makes, human intelligence is never going out of fashion. You take care. Bye-bye.